The key financial highlights for the period to December 2009 were that the business essentially doubled or more so in pretty much every key metric. In our earnings, the business increased its earnings after tax by over 150% to just over $8 million, $8.2 million in fact, and in EBITDA terms, the business grew by over 150% also to something a little over $15 million. Compared to the previous corresponding period. So from an earnings perspective, the business has had a very, very strong 6 months, in fact the strongest the business has ever recorded. And in revenue terms, the company grew by over 115% to a little under $188 million. So we've had a very strong half. Well, we certainly entered the 2009-10 year with a degree of trepidation, like many businesses did, of course, with the global financial crisis as the backdrop. But we've been incredibly pleased and pleasantly surprised by the way that the small enterprise market, which is M2's core focus, the way that it held up during the period. In fact, the strength of the small enterprise market across all of our different brands and offerings was stronger, in fact, than the previous year. So we were very, very pleased with how the market's held up. Well, People Telecom and Commander have been business-changing acquisitions. We purchased both of those businesses shortly before the end of the previous financial year, the 2009 financial year, and combined they've more than doubled the company's scale, and as the financial results are testament to, we've seen a very substantial earnings contribution from both those acquisitions. So, sitting here now, nearly a year after the People Telecom acquisition and 7 or 8 months after the Commander acquisition, we're incredibly pleased by how those businesses have come into the fold, both operationally, financially and culturally. The businesses have settled in to the M2 group very nicely. We're very pleased indeed. Integration of businesses has many factors and many challenges, but probably the key and most fundamental aspect of the People Telecom and Commander's integration of acquisitions, I should say, is what we endeavoured to do culturally to make those businesses and the teams within them feel very much a part of the M2 fold. We worked very hard at making sure that the team members from our company, from the M2 business, the pre-existing team and the acquired businesses worked very closely together from the outset. And then we went about a process of process and operational integration, such as bringing together accounting systems and payroll systems and the things that, when unified in a business, make the business more efficient overall. So it's been a very, very involved process, but overall very successful. And as I say, the numbers again are testament to that. From my perspective, our performance around management retention and, in fact, team engagement over this last busy period through the acquisitions has probably been our greatest achievement. We've had the privilege for nearly the 10 years that we've been operating to have retained our core management group and our board of directors, for that matter, through that entire time. Since the acquisitions and the fairly radical growth the business has gone through over this last couple of years, we've been able to bring in all of the key talent that we've identified within the businesses that we've acquired, and they've become key parts of the business's overall operations now, whether it be in areas of operations or sales and marketing or other functions within the business. So we've been very, very blessed in how that's transpired, and I think more than just the management, same principle applies right across the business. We've got team members in contact centres in Hobart and in Adelaide, and we have a technical operations centre in North Ryde. We have an operation in North Sydney in New South Wales, and our head office here in Melbourne, plus we have smaller teams in Brisbane and in Wollongong. And across all of those businesses and offices, which have had to adapt to the changes that the business has gone through, we've had an incredible retention of key talent at all levels of the business. So sitting here now with a business numbering something more than 430 people across all of those operations around the country, we're, I think, in a very, very good position. Not only the quality of our talent, but the level of unity that exists across our team. Well, in terms of, so to speak, heavy lifting of the integration process, that's largely behind us now. As I mentioned earlier, we're nearly a year after the People Telecom acquisition and 7 or 8 months after the Commander acquisition. So we've gone through the most involved phase of integration. So the next phase is for us to look at the processes and the ways we do things across the business and see how we can do those things better. And that involves analysis of such things as our billing systems and our customer service systems and the processes that affect our customers and that our teams use every day to run our business. So that's the next phase, but that's a process that takes considerable time and needs considerable research, so we will be careful with how we go about that.